The EU envoy to China has named for the instant produce of Swedish individual and post-Kong-based book dealer Gui Minhai. Mr. Gui was withdrawn on Sunday time traveling into Swedish diplomatic corps to search care treat in Beijing. Envoy Hans-Dietmar Schweisgut said reporters at a press briefing how the EU completely supports Sweden's efforts to solve the question in China. A China representative, yet, outlined such appeals as unfounded. Sweden affirmed on Tuesday how MR Graphical User Interface, who has published books on the private lives of China communistic side leaders, was traveling on a boat train of the town of Ningbo in East China, while plainclothes commanders took him off. He was traveling to Beijing to see a Swedish physician, on to his child, Angela, who leads a campaigning of the UK to complimentary her dad. She said Wireless Sweden how he was show symptoms of the neurologic illness ALS. I fair aware how things include undertaken a really dramatic rotate for the worst, Ms. Gui said the New York Times. Mr. Schweisgut told, we wait the China authorities to once produce Gui Minhai of arrest and to enable him to reconnect in his household, to get consular agency supporting and care supporting in link in his rights, since he is a Swedish individual and as well a individual of the Europe Association. The post-Kong-based book dealer's present location stay unidentified and Swedish officials affirmed how the China envoy to Sweden has been called above the occurrence 2 times. China Overseas Ministry Representative Hua Chunying said a news story meeting, all nation must honor the China authorities' processing of cases comprising foreigners in China in compliance in the act. She told how if any overseas by the government requested to defend its countrymen, its top year was to bring up them to honor the laws of the nation they are in. Mr. Gui at first done headlines in 2015 while he missing of Thailand and resurfaced in China, on in some post-Kong publication Associate. Following his extinction, down there were concoction how he had been stolen by China agents through world national borders in an extrajudicial trial. China officials, yet, say Mr. Gui and the 4 persons some men all went to China willingly. He after acknowledged to creature implicated in a way traffic crash more than rather than a 10 years over, a denomination supporters say was constrained. In October 2017, Mr. Gui was liberated of jail but could not be found by his household. It has withfounded how he has been residing in Ningbo. Humane rights groups trust the publishers are victims of a crackdown on disagreement versus China's governing communistic side. The ex-UK settlement of post-Kong, yet, is imaginary to include clear legislative independence by the regulation of its transmission to China in 1997.